Welcome back, my people. We continue on this conversation as we raise a generation of business-minded people. This is Madame, the Queen of Entrepreneurship, Twapewa Kadhikwa. Tonight's topic is understanding the ecosystem of entrepreneurship in Namibia. So essentially, what is an ecosystem? An ecosystem is an environment where living organisms coexist to build one another and to make the best of their ecosystem. So this ecosystem in Namibia, we will unpack it. There is so much to learn, and I want you to sit back. I want you to relax, grab your cup of coffee, grab your oshikundu, drink or pop. You can even take a ice, most the Lokasi ice. Just sit back and relax. Let us inspire you, empower you, equip you, and hopefully transform you. You deserve to run a good race. Welcome back, my people. Sanbonani, kindness. Goeienaand, Matokerwa, Matokelwapo, Mavuka Hande, and alles mumwe. So you are all welcome. We are proceeding, and my studio guest is here. She's smiling. Mama Anna Vambe. In Africa, we call you Mama. You are welcome.
Thank you, thank you. I feel welcome. I feel welcome.
Thank you. So Anna, Startup Namibia, tell me about it.
Yeah, Startup Namibia is a German Namibian technical cooperation project. But we are a bilateral cooperation project, technical cooperation project, funded by the German government.
Okay.
And it is our mission and vision to improve conditions for the formation and growth of startups. So it's actually very simple. We incubate startups. We want to see more of them. We want to see more innovation. We want to see more crazy ideas implemented, and people reaching for the stars and really going for their ideas.
Excellent. Because you've been a startup yourself.
Yes, I co-founded a business myself. I'm a former founder. I can very much relate to the entrepreneurial journey.
The Zulapreneurship journey.
Yeah. No, I can relate to everything. The anxiety, the excitement, the learning curve.
Okay. So now let's look at Namibia's fact sheet. As at March 2020, before COVID, we were told that we have 43% unemployment. Okay. Of whom 76% are youth.
Yeah.
So essentially, Namibia is a youth nation. It's a startup.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's a youth nation. It's supposed to be riding on the energy of the young people.
Yeah. There's even a term for it. It's
what
called
is that?
Demographic dividend. So it means if you have a lot of young people, because they are the bright minds of your nation bringing you forward, it means that you have a competitive advantage towards, for instance, the aging societies of Europe, let's say. Because us in Europe, everyone is getting old and our productivity is decreasing. But you have so many young people who could potentially have so many bright ideas.
To unlock that potential.
Yes, and that's what we call the demographic dividend. But there's also a big risk. If you don't reap that dividend, there is this threat of the young people becoming very disillusioned
and restless.
Yeah.
Like now that they are restless.
I do think so, and I think they have reason to.
So let's quickly talk through the funnel. You were telling me about the funnel earlier. Like there's a formula that in every 10 entrepreneurs, one should make it. Talk to me about that.
Yeah. Or let me put it like this, we work on numbers in startup support. Usually we say 1 out of 8, 1 out of 10 will make it. The others will most probably not make it.
But they have experience now.
No, of course. Yeah. And there is merit and failure. We call it failing forward. how much you learn the most through actually running against the wall, because you know that you don't have to do it again.
You learn the most through running against the wall. You have to face those difficult situations. You have to face your fear. You have to face your challenges. You have to do things that you didn't do before, running against the wall. Moshi wambo ouna kutondoka wa ukame kuma, meaning you have to do something different if you want to become something new. And I think that's also another risk, because we've got this comfort life, finish school, write your CV, get a job.
What we see a lot at Startup Namibia is that Namibians tend to be very good at vending or selling things. We see less people who really start products or services from scratch. So really going into this full-on entrepreneurship journey where you create something and you create something new. There's nothing wrong with...
So there's a lot of duplication.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of copy and paste, basically.
Yeah.
Is that not maybe a case of environment? Because really, what can I do? What can you do away from what you see? So exposure plays a big role in how you innovate or in how you become new or renew yourself.
No, you're really hitting the point here, because what we see, if we look on a more Pan-African level, if we look at the thriving startup ecosystems in Africa, Nigeria, Tanzania, Ghana, Kenya, the first round of successful startups, they were usually they usually went abroad and came back. They formed part of the diaspora.
Okay.
So it's kids who went with their parents to the US or to somewhere, and then they were exposed that side, they came back to the home country, and then that's where they started to mingle and ramble. And that's something that we lack a little bit here.
Before we go to that one, let's talk about fears.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about fears.
And failing forward.
Yeah.
Failing forward.
Entrepreneurship and startup culture has a lot to do with the way we perceive risks. You see, if you go to the US, someone has a crazy idea.
They are called unique.
And there will be, and everybody will be, yeah, cool. And then he or she will pursue this idea, and then a year later he will become, I have another idea. And yes, what about the first idea? And they will be like, yeah, I
changed my mind.
Or I lost all my money, but now I'm starting again. And in cultures where risk is perceived as a positive thing, because high risk, high rewards, you know?
High risk, high rewards.
That's where you're allowed to experiment. You're allowed to tune your recipe. Whereas
and you're not called crazy.
And you're not called crazy. Yeah, you're not called crazy.
Here we do that.
Yeah, so this is really what I want to tell all the parents out there. If your kids have crazy ideas...
Hold on, volume please. A message to all the parents. Yes, Meme.
If your kids have crazy ideas...
Or uncommon ideas.
Let them at least just try. You know, let them experiment in a safe environment. And yeah, and if your kids fail, don't scold them. Tell them, okay, that didn't work so well, but hey, let's try again. What do we need to do different this time so that we can actually make this work better?
But Anna, then it means the whole African continent needs a meeting. Because our cultures, I'm sorry, they're really heavy on that. It's so heavy. It's like I see people every day who are not even living up to 15% of their potential because they are just blocked. Yeah, there's a blockage, and it's so painful.
Yeah, no, but it starts with little things. You might think I'm crazy, but let your kids play outside and in the dirt. I know that I gave my daughter a sand pit for her first birthday, and I know that some of my friends were like, Kama,
how can you do that?
You gave dirt to your kid for her first birthday. I'm like, but she's supposed to like play and experiment and do things, and it starts like that, you know. I think it really starts at a young age. they're allowed to fall. Just make sure that, and that's not only parents, in our environments, also with friends. If someone is telling you, hey, I would love to quit my job to pursue my dreams,
you support that person.
You support that person. You tell
instead
them,
of saying she's
do
crazy.
it. And you know what? If everybody else drops you, and if nobody calls you anymore, I will be there for you. I will call you, I will sit with you, I will cry with you, and I will celebrate with you. It really starts in our surroundings, with our friends, with our families, to encourage people taking a leap of faith.
We will take a break. My head is swimming. There's stuff going on there. The fact that our cultures have to accommodate or encourage the spirit of entrepreneurship, and that's something government cannot do. That's something donor funding cannot do. That's something even the church cannot do for you. You have to develop that internal culture as a domestic environment to say, we want to see you become the best version of yourself. We'll be back and then we'll take it further. See you later. My dream is that Africa takes up its rightful position in the global space. I believe that we must dismantle the narrative that Africa is not capable and move it to the belief and understanding that Africa can. I believe with every bone in my body that Africa has arrived. Africa will be able to cope, and Africa can take leadership in its affairs, especially when it comes to economic transformation and youth empowerment.
So this is my vibe. My name is Imle Yambo, Head of Programs at Startup Namibia. If you know what startups are quick, they are fast, they are energetic. So that's exactly what Startup Namibia is, and that's who we are at Startup Namibia. The startup ecosystem for any developing economy is so important. Moves away from doing business the traditional way to a more current and modern way that accelerates the growth of economy super fast.
My name is Anna Vambe, and I'm the GIZ Project Manager for Startup Namibia. Startup Namibia is a Namibian-German technical cooperation project funded by the German government. It's all about startups. We want to see startups grow. We want to see more startups in Namibia. We want Namibia to become the launch pad for startups in the region.
We are back and we are continuing this conversation to enhance and really build our stock of entrepreneurs in Namibia and ultimately the African continent. Anna, Meme, are entrepreneurs nurtured or are they developed naturally?
Yeah, there's different schools of thought to it. I'm definitely part of the one that says, I think either you are an entrepreneur or you're not. I know that many people disagree with me, but I don't really believe in these entrepreneurship courses. I think either you've got what it takes, the grit, the stamina, the energy, or you don't. You definitely can learn the tools.
Okay, you can catch it.
You can learn how to do your accounting. You can learn how to do your financial management. You can learn how to leadership skills. You can learn a lot of that. But this, you know, what it takes to be an entrepreneur, I think that is nurtured very, very early.
From that sandpit.
Yeah.
We have an economy, by the way. It's just not localized. And then that which is localized is in dual. It's A, in a formal economy, and B, in the informal economy. So you need jobs. And those jobs are not going to be created by government. Those jobs must be created. And the creators are entrepreneurs. Even if they employ them and 2 more people. But we can't discourage that effort. So how do we move forward? We are in a dilemma it's nothing new, it's nothing overwhelming. We should be able to overcome that quickly.
But look, Twapewa, I mean, I fully agree with you. The government is not going to create those jobs.
And should
it's
not.
Going to be the private sector. We need to have an honest conversation about the role of the private sector in Namibia, what it can and what it cannot do, what it's supposed to do and what it's not supposed to do.
Talk to me lastly about busy and broke.
Busy and broke.
Too many people, too many. They are holding envelopes like this, walking around town from this organization to that organization. It's not right. Busy and broke. What do we do for our startups especially?
Busy and broke reminds me, it's our friends from Dololo's tagline actually.
Okay.
If you drive past town on their incubator, it says hoot if you're busy and broke. I think it's a good opportunity to also promote Dololo and Toolbox because they do exceptional work for startups and for founders and entrepreneurs. And I think they give us a very good example of what we need.
Yes.
You need to start something.
The hubs,
Even if it's small, do something for a community, create a community of startups where we can come together.
To allow failure and trial and error.
Encourage each other. Because look, if you're a business and you do it all by yourself, you cry by yourself, you celebrate by yourself, you're scared to share your success stories because you're scared that your relatives will start calling and
like, the bank, darling.
It looks like you're successful. So now can you e-wallet, please? So I think we need that community where we can go through the heights and lows of entrepreneurship together, because that's the safety net that we can provide to each other.
Now, as we wind up, now if you look at where we are now, we are in the capital city. And this video and this episode is going to be watched nationwide. However, the person who's in Omaruru, there is no startup Namibia there. They don't know Twapewa Kadhikwa.
If you are a startup in Omaruru, give me a call. I will talk to you on the phone.
Did you hear that? If you are a startup in Omaruru, Oshodonjupa, wherever you are in Namibia, call Anna, come to Startup Namibia, find data, go online, find their office and all their offerings so that we can assist you, because this economy is not going to be producing new jobs. The jobs that are coming must be created, and you may just have the opportunity to create your own job. Of whom, my sister?
No, I fully agree with you. I fully agree with you. And I think it's time that we credit and salute those who do. Because there's a lot of them. We need more role models, and we need to also celebrate and salute them for what they are.
Credit and salute those that are doing the most. Encourage your relatives, encourage those in our communities, credit and salute them, and Startup Namibia will take you to your next level. That is me signing out. Madam Anna, please say goodbye. Shalom. To the next one.
To the next one.
All
there
right.
will be a
That's
next
a deal.
one.
It's a date. Yes.
Startup Namibia in a nutshell is essentially a one-stop shop for startup. We want to assist them and provide them with all the tools, resources and networks necessary for their formalization and growth. We do this through a variety of ways via our incubation and accelerator programs. We also have a regional component, so we have selected regions in Namibia where we also take our programs and initiatives to. SMEs are the foundation of an economy, and Namibia is no different.
In Startup Namibia, we have two big components. One of them is Basecamp, which is our startup incubator. At Basecamp, we have a co-working space, so if you are a startup looking for flexible office space with meeting rooms and a receptionist and printers and good fast internet, you are really welcome to inquire about our packages and come work with us from here. Our second big component of Startup Namibia is our digital center, where we have a strong focus on digital entrepreneurship. We're all about supporting tech and IT startups or digitally enabled startups.
After that very insightful discussion with Anna Vambe from Startup Namibia, we now move over to our next guest, my own sister from another mother. Okay, so Tufila, I call you Tufila. I think you know why. Because
yes, I'm called Tufila. The whole village knows that name.
So in Ohangwena, where are you? Ohangwena is a region, but which village are you based?
Based in the village called Onga. And what we do, we operate by mobile. So Good Morning Trading currently is a training company which is mobile. What do? We are training people to produce their own food at the basic level, because we believe that starting at home is always the best.
This economy needs entrepreneurs, but it also needs entrepreneurs that are healthy, that are strong, that get through the doors that they must go through. When you are based, how would you describe the ecosystem of entrepreneurship in our country, especially in your region?
Startup is always not an easy thing to do. But the first thing that makes everything easier is the mind. The mind.
Your
mind.
mind
is ready, the environment will be ready. Because how do we pursue the environment is exactly how it will reflect it back to us. It could be hard if you perceive it hard.
Yeah.
But where there is a will, there is always
a way.
Where there's a desire, there is always a way. So what we do first is that we desire, and we strongly desire what we want to achieve.
Tufila, let's wind this up. I want your final remarks. I want your final remarks on the value of agripreneurship. Agripreneurship and what it holds, the promise that it holds for our beloved Namibia, and obviously for the continent of Africa. Talk to me, my sister.
Yes, the value of agripreneur in a certain country, and basically we are talking about Namibia. I used to ask my fellow Namibians and say, we sing loudly on our national anthem and say, the land of the braves. It is so questionable that which kind of braves that need other countries to feed them. I'm saying, why do we dress so? We are here dressed nicely, African women, yet we open our mouth to other countries to feed us.
Thank you, Tufila. Today you have preached. You think you were speaking, but you were preaching. I can't wait to see you in Onga. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. And I know that the best is yet to come. This discussion for me was nothing but an onion. You know, when you are peeling an onion, as you take off one layer, you realize there's another layer and a layer and a layer. But in that process, it starts to irritate your eyes and you can be tearing, your sinuses are disturbed. And that's really what's going on here. We have so much to do, we have so much to unpack, and we've got so much that we need to lay as a foundation in order to run a good race. You cannot navigate your way through the maze of entrepreneurship if you don't have information. Information is power, but information must be put to use. Knowledge is power, but knowledge is application. So I want to encourage you to sit back, consume everything that we share with you, apply it, navigate your way, get started, fall, fail, fall again, fail again, until you are so good at falling and failing that you can just run your way to success. See you on our next episode. This is me signing out, Twapewa Kadhikwa, the Queen of Entrepreneurship.